Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful day at home, of course. It seems that the situation is not going to be resolved anytime soon. So, we are going to have to get used to staying at home and also get used to this online learning. Your degrees and marks are going to be judged by the daily quizzes, as we have been informed by the department. So please, all of you should tune in and watch the videos and try to learn something from them. If you have anything that you want me to adjust, if you have anything that you want me to make better, change in explanation, you can always tell me. I am all ears, and I am not perfect, and I'll try to improve myself always. Your feedback is essential to the success of learning. Now, let's start today by talking about second language materials. This is chapter 4 of our syllabus, okay? Third chapter has ended, the linguistic principles. We are no longer discussing it. Finally, we are rid of it, and today we have somewhat of an easy chapter. Okay, all of you have knowledge about it, all of you know something about it, and it is not that difficult to understand, hopefully. So let's start. Second language materials, or foreign language materials, as it is for us Iraqi. English is considered a foreign language. Okay, let's see, what does that entail? The material for second language teaching doesn't only include the textbook, but also supplementary readers, workbooks, handwriting, manuals, films, tapes, overhead projector, transparencies, dictionaries, games, songs, flashcards, reading cards, wall charts, and teacher guides. Okay? Now, when you are trying to teach English, for example, you are not only going to, of course, depend on the textbook that is submitted or provided to you by the Ministry of Education. No, you have to design some things in your mind. You have to make a certain plan in your mind to teach this material. You have supplementary readers. For example, you give your students to read an assignment, to read a passage online, or you have a workbook that the students can answer the activities in it. A handwriting, they write something to improve their handwriting. Manuals, films, of course, these are very important. You watch a film with your students, although this is something that is quite difficult to do in our environment, as most parents are paranoid of movies and showing movies to your students. Tapes, for example, recording, as we have discussed in the second chapter, we said that the tapes are very important to learning second or foreign language. Why? Because they provide a model for pronunciation, for grammar, for construction of sentences, and so on. And of course, games, role play, flashcards, wall charts, and teacher guide. All these things help into making your lesson successful, and hopefully the students will benefit from it. Now, language materials are defined as it includes all those elements that carry learning experiences to the learners. All those elements that carry learning experiences to the learners, like role play, like for example songs, like language games, pictures, and so on. everything including in the learning process should be well thought of, should be for example, I have a lesson, I should be planned, should be planned, and even the explanation and the additional exercises that are made by the teacher should also be planned and ready made for him. He has to make them and make a specific plan for them. How is he going to implement them in the classroom? Are they going to be homework during the classroom time, and so on? All these things are supposed to be put in the mind of the teacher. There are so many teaching methods out there. Okay, we have translational method, we have grammar translation method, sorry, we have the direct method, we have the silent way, communicative language teaching, suggestopedia. We have numerous types of methods to teach language. Okay, but generally all these language methods differ among themselves. I adopt, for example, grammar translating method. I think that this method is the best to teaching English. You, for example, think that communicative approach is the best method to teach English. You have your own viewpoint, and I have my own viewpoint. Both of us are successful to a degree. Therefore, here we are not going to focus on all of them. We are going to take a general idea. We are going to focus on the most accepted features by modern syllabus designers. Okay, when I'm trying to make a syllabus, when I'm trying to make a curriculum, a material for my students, that includes the activities, the notebooks, the material, the objectives, and so on, I have to take into consideration. Some things. First, I don't just go on and this is grammar that you have to teach, this is the passages. No, I have to follow certain steps. What are these steps? Firstly, and most prominently and most importantly, are needs. Let's see. Foreign language materials and learning experiences should be planned based on clearly stated objectives. Okay, so the first point in making a curriculum is clearly stated objectives. The first step in syllabus development is the formulation of aims. This first step involves the following types of work. Okay, this is very important. When I'm going to make a certain syllabus, I have to decide on the objectives. What do I need my students to learn? At the end of the year, they have to have mastered some things. For example, I would want them to know how to greet someone, how to order food, how to buy something, and for example, let's say how to meet new friends or how to make connections. These are my objectives. Then I will have to decide the material. Okay, the objectives are very important when making a curriculum or a certain syllabus to my students. I should not go blind without any objective in my mind and teach my students, make a curriculum, make a syllabus for my students. No, there has to be a certain plan that is devised to fulfill these objectives. Okay, the following steps or following types of work we have to follow. Okay, what do we have to follow to formulate aims or objectives? Just like making a plan for business, you have to make a plan that follows the objectives, certain objectives, tries to fulfill certain objectives. A close study, first, look here. A close study of social needs of the learners that they will find themselves in need of communicating. Now, what are the social needs? For example, I have the social needs of making money. Another person would have the social need. Sorry about that. A motorcycle just passed my house with an annoying exhaust. Sorry. Again, a close study of social needs of the learners that they will find themselves in need of communicating. I want to make money. My society needs to have certain manners. For example, it should be religious, between two quotation marks. For example, it has to be abide the law, follow the rules of the government. These things are my social needs. I need to convey them in an indirect way to my students, to my learners. At the end of the year, they should have mastered or at least attained some of these objectives that I have decided, that are socially acceptable by the society. For example, if our learners are expected to function as receptionists in a government firm, in government firms, okay? Our learners are all going to be what? Receptionists. What should I do to make a syllabus for them? I should analyze the social needs for such receptionists. We analyze the functions to which they will put their language to use. For example, the vocabulary they need, the grammar they need, and the social situations that they need to learn in order to be a good receptionist. Okay? All these things I should analyze and I should know before making the material for my students. A close study of the learners, including age, sex, language background, maturity, educational background, and etc. I am making, let's say, I am making a lesson, or I am making a syllabus for the fourth preparatory students, okay? Fourth high school students or preparatory school students. What do they have to learn? What are the social needs that they should know by now and they will have to know after finishing this year? How old are they? How developed is their brain? Are they mature enough to know some things? Are they not mature enough to know some things? What is their educational background concerning language, for example? Of course, I will have to go from the first stage, from the primary class to third intermediate class and analyze what they have learned in order to give them something that is connected to their learning background and that is new to them. Okay? And so on. For example, look here. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. These are some social needs, some needs that are personal or social. First of all, psychological, having to eat something, having to go to bed, to sleep, to eat. Safety, okay? Safety needs. We also need to teach our students how to be safe at home, not to go to fire, and so many things. You will find such a topic in the first primary stage. In the first intermediate stage. Love, belonging, making connections between people, finding a life partner to live with, to marry, okay? Esteem, to make them confidence, to make them fulfill certain job, to make them know what they want to do or what they want to be in the future. Self-actualization, which is the highest point, which is achieving your objectives in life. Okay? Some of these things are sadly not present in our environment. Hopefully they will be in the future. Now, Analysis of categories of the language we intend to teach, including its phonology, grammar, vocabulary, and writing system. There's a comma. Someone will come to me and tell me, you forgot to write a comma here. Yes, I'm lazy. Uh, Phonology. For example, in Iraq we have certain phonemes that are only present in Iraq. Grammar. We have certain grammatical rules that are incorrect, but in our society they are. We have certain vocabulary that are accepted by Iraqi and not accepted by Lebanese, for example. Writing system. Okay, this is general for Arabic. This is standard. But, okay, I have to know these things in order to make a material. I am not going to go blindly without knowing what sounds my children know. I bring them some sounds that are not present in their language, in their mother tongue, at first, which would make learning very difficult. I would not give them grammatical points that are not related to grammatical points that are in their mother tongue. Of course, vocabulary that is used in the society. I'm not going to talk about being an astronaut, going to space, physics, deep rooted science things. No, I will teach them general language that is decided for social communicative purposes. Okay? Knowledge of needs will be combined with knowledge of language categories that can be utilized to fulfill these needs in an ordered fashion. Okay? Now I have decided what my objectives are. I have decided what language categories I'm going to associate these objectives with. I will make an order, a plan for things to be taught, for a material to be taught to my students. Okay? The study of social needs, general characteristics of the learners, and the language structure will form the basic source of objectives. Okay? What is the basic source of objectives if you encounter such an obvious question, such a devious question? The basic source of objectives for language syllabus are social needs, general characteristics of the learners, like sex, age, maturity, background knowledge, and so on. The language structure, will form the basic source of objectives. The study of needs to formulate objective needs to be subjected also to modern psychology and the philosophy of those responsible for the school system. Okay? Psychology, like we have studied in the second chapter. Knowing the psychology of the students and making a syllabus material that is specifically designed to the psychology, to the psychological environment, the psychological thinking that our students have, that is formed by the family, by the society, by the religious beliefs, and so on. Another motorcycle, great, and so on. Okay? And the philosophy of those responsible for the school system. Now, we all know, we all have experienced this. You come to your family when you are first born, you are going to be subjected to the philosophy of whom? Of course, to the philosophy of your parents. Your mother believes that religion is something paramount. Okay, it is very important to your development. Your father also believes that religion is paramount to the success of your life. Okay, they will teach you everything that is religious. They will, when you go to school, when you for example, first primary, second primary, you are what? A religious person. Okay, another family, you are born to them, the father is liberal, let's say. The mother is also liberal. She doesn't believe in something. She believes in certain things, for example, the equality between men and women, for example, uh, many things. Let's say that uh, it is not forbidden to show your hair as a girl, it is not forbidden to listen to songs, and so many things. Okay, you will be born as a liberal boy. Your philosophy of life will be like your parents first, then you will develop your own philosophy when you grow up, and so on. This is also present. Our government, what does our government want from the students, from their graduates? It needs them in an ideal society, of course. It needs them to be literal. It needs them literate. Sorry, literate, which means learnable or learned, uh, sophisticated, scientific, logical, religious, for example, uh, believe in human rights and certain things, abide by the law, of course, abide the law, and so many things. It will try to install these things into their minds through the language system, through the learning material. Okay, it is called the hidden curriculum. It is hidden. These are hidden things that the society wants you to learn. The government wants you to learn. They may be devious, they may be actually good and like loving your country. Okay? All these things factor into making a syllable, into making language material. The previous steps gives us defined objectives that need to be stated. The objectives are stated in terms of two variables: learner's behavior, subject matter. Of course, we have studied the needs, we need to also study the learner's behavior. Are they teenagers? Are they grown-ups? Are they children? What are their behaviors? What is the subject matter that is suitable for these children, and so on. Okay? Lastly, I'm sorry it is taking so long, but this is a very important lecture for all of you. First, we said I am making an objectives for making a material for my students. The government is making material, a syllabus for its students. It needs to study first the social needs, learners' characteristics, language categories. Then it moves up to where? To the philosophy of the society, to the philosophy of the country, psychological, then base it on a psychological theory, okay, of learning, just like we have learned in the second chapter. All that will formulate what? It will formulate objectives. Then I will have language materials. Okay, I would have created a language syllabus that is suitable for this age, suitable for these types of students. This is the end of our material of our lecture today. Thank you very much for listening to me. It could be a little bit difficult. I don't think so. Of course, you will whine. Some of you will cry. It is difficult. I don't understand. Okay, listen to the video again and hopefully you will understand it. If you have any questions, please ask me. Always ask me. I am always available for you, and I will try to make it as obvious, as clear as possible to the best of my ability. Thank you very much for listening to me, and have a good day.